What's up, PTP subscribers? Danye Goodman here. Listen, this video, let's talk about tracking guitars. The reason I'm even doing this video is one of the elite subscribers, Kevin Cummings, hit me and said, "Hey man, how do you get these guitars kind of sounding so realistic? And can you describe your process?" And I did this in some of my earlier videos, but I'm gonna go a little further in depth as far as like the choices I'm making to program these guitars. So I got a little loop here. I'm actually mixing this record right now, but I went back and pulled up the raw audio session so you could hear my approach. I'm using 3 guitar patches, all right, 2 clean guitar patches and 1 distortion. And I got the drums and the bass playing so you can hear it in context. All right, let me refresh all of the audio engines here and I'll let you know what I'm using. So for the distortion, I'm using the Evolution Infinity. I'm using Evolution guitar libraries for all of this. I discovered the Evolution library online, just kind of searching, and these things sound so great and they play so well. The presets sound great out the box without having to dive into, having to do a lot of tweaking. All right, I tweaked it to my taste, but you don't have to do a lot if you find a good preset. All right, and so this is the Evolution Infinity, which is it's an electric guitar that can, you can do all the tones. You can do the clean tone, you can do distortion, you can do a lot of that. Mostly geared towards the shredding, the guitar shredding, distortion shredding. For guitar 2, I use the Hollow Body Blues, the Evolution Hollow Body Blues. Great for that funk R&B thing happening. And I'm going to explain to you what I did down here. This is another thing that I did, but this is the Evolution Hollow Body Blues. And for the guitar 1, I use the Evolution Rock Standard. And of course, these are presets I pulled up and then I just kind of tweaked them. Now, these muted strums down here, as I did with the other one, I wanted to make it playable where I could actually play some muted strums along with these guitars, because they have them in here, but they don't have them mapped to a key that makes it playable. So what I did was I just pulled up a blank patch and just took some sampled muted strums that I had, and as you can hear on this left speaker, because this guitar is panned to the left, you can hear those strums. And I just copied the effects from this patch rack to the muted strums patch rack, excuse me, so that the tones would match. And I did the same thing with the Hollow Body Blues. But just take a listen to this so you can hear the groove and how it sounds, and I'm going to show you how I programmed it. Here we go. Okay, that's the gist of the groove. Didn't want to bore you by taking it all the way out there. Let me show you. Let's take this bass out. Let me show you what each guitar is doing. Okay. So for this part, I have like each guitar track is playing something different. It's playing a different voicing in contrast to the other one. Okay, so in this case, I have two clean guitars, and so this guitar is playing a muted groove, and as you can hear, you know, I have the muted key switch. So I can hold down the muted key switch and it'll play muted. And this, it's quiet. You can't really hear it, but those are the muted strums. And it allows me to play. So it ends up having this groove. Okay, it ends up having that groove to it, and I'm actually playing that in when I'm tracking, you know. And so I have a couple of key switches. So I have the muted, and then I have a slide up. So okay, and I'm actually playing that in to the track. All right, and then let me let you hear what I got going on the second guitar. See, when you track guitars, too many guys make the mistake of tracking guitars, playing it like it's a keyboard. That's not gonna make it realistic. Okay, a keyboard player will go. That's not sounding like a guitar. Guitar is going to strum what he's doing. So you want to strum what you're doing on the keyboard. You want to strum it. Listen to guitar players and how they approach things and track it, actually track it and play it like that. So that's the effect that you'll get. And you'll notice that even when you're just using some generic libraries or libraries that don't really sound as good as these, because you're approaching it like a guitar player, it's still passable and close. And when you play everything in the mix, it brings the realism to the groove. Like, for instance, I'll play this whole groove right now so you can hear it. Okay, so you can hear that within the context of what's going on. Now, for this distortion patch, it's the Infinity. Let me bring up the actual instrument so you can actually hear it. All I'm doing is playing it, you know, and it's doing everything by itself. So I have this just accenting the lines. That's all. And all I'm doing are playing these fifths. Playing the octaves with the fifths in there. Power chords, okay? Just guitar power chords. Again, study guitar players, and but that's how you stack your guitars. You do one, and my approach is I have one guitar playing low register voicings, and then the other guitar playing higher register voicings and different patterns, right? And then I pan one to the left, one to the right, And then usually I have a distortion line or whatever, depending on the song. Sometimes the song doesn't call for it at all. And then after that, sometimes if it calls for a wah guitar, I'll put a wah in there, and all I'm doing is using these same patches, and then pulling up a wah plugin and MIDIing it. I have my pedal, expression pedal, and I have it to any wah set to MIDI channel 11, and I play the wah in, playing those different patterns. So, but the key is really playing and approaching the guitar like a guitar player, not like a keyboard player. Okay, that's the thing that's gonna make your guitar parts sound more realistic, is that you actually approach the music like a guitar player. A guitar player is not gonna play a chord with more than 6 notes. So you have no business playing 7 and 8 note, stuff. Even if it's what about a 7 string or 8 string? Yeah, that's cool, but typically you're not gonna hear all that. Okay, if you have to play more than 6 notes in a guitar part, then you probably shouldn't be laying a guitar part. The part you should probably using a different sound for that. Okay, because you can get away and get the point across with a simple 6-string guitar and have your other patches on top. Okay, so I hope that helps. These are the things I use. The Evolution Guitar Library. You can I think their orangetree.com is the Orangetree, ORANGETREE.com is where they get the Evolution stuff, the Evolution guitar contact libraries, and all of them, every last one of those libraries are amazing, and they get the job done for what you need. The presets are great out of the box. The jazz, there's a jazz, I think there's a jazz guitar, the hollow body blues guitar, and then there's all of the acoustic stuff. So look into that and get those. But again, concentrate on tracking your parts like a guitar player, not like a keyboard player. Okay, and then contrast your patterns. You know what I mean? Contrast your patterns so that each pattern is playing something different on the tracks. Unless it's meant for a pattern to be reinforced. You know what I mean? Like if it's a line where everybody's playing the line, I'll have one guitar part playing the low line, the other guitar part playing the high line, or harmonizing, and the distortion covering the bass, as you heard earlier. So differentiating your patterns. Sorry about those artifacts, man. I can't stand it. And I think it's only on this song that is doing that mess. But yeah, so that's how you do it. I hope this helps, and y'all get at me with any other questions. Thank you.